Hello and welcome to another episode of the Plus 63 HP podcasts. I am one of your hosts. I'm John Clemente. Alongside with me are two of my bestest best friends. I'm going to start with the guy with the pink headphones, CHUBAX.
Hello, it's Zaddy at your service. You can call me Chubax, or as I said, Zaddy.
Our
Welcome
other
back.
bestest best, our other bestest best friend is Raymond.
Hey, hello everyone. It's great to be here. Looking forward to share with you the fun things we've been watching. And these are things that we can share online. Yeah.
And if you're just tuning in, the Plus 63 HP stable of podcasts includes a review show, a D&D show, and a reacts show. This is our deep dive into our week-on-week streaming TV shows. The past few weeks we have been discussing and reviewing the Book of Boba Fett as well as Peacemaker, and we also do a deep dive on a particular main show or main movie. And this week, the delightful Ghostbusters Afterlife. Ghostbusters Afterlife is our main topic for this week. Bit of housekeeping. If you want to watch us, we are on YouTube. Just search Plus 63 HP on the search bar. We'd love it if you'd hit like, subscribe, share it to your friends, hit that notification bell so you know when our episodes drop. We are also available in every single podcasting platform that you can think of. Just search Plus 63 HP. If you want to interact with us, we're also on Twitter and Instagram. The handle is at Plus 63 HP. Before we start next week, if you want to join the discussion, make sure join along watching the Book of Boba Fett on Disney Plus. It's an amazing show. We'll be tackling episode 5 next week. We will also be tackling Peacemaker on HBO Max episode 5 as well. And we're very, very excited to discuss finally Critical Role's animated adaptation on
So good.
where I work, Amazon Prime Video or Amazon.com. The Legend of Vox Machina is coming out next week. The first 3 episodes are dropping.
Hell yeah.
But that is next week. This week we have episode 4 of the Book of Boba Fett. We have episode 4 of Peacemaker, and we have Ghostbusters Afterlife. Housekeeping done. I'm turning the stage over to RJ to discuss the first show that we'll be reviewing and discussing this week, the Book of Boba Fett. RJ, take it away.
Awesome. Book of Boba Fett, episode 4, The Gathering Storm. So from the previous episodes, we know that a war is coming. So this title itself gives you a preview of what you're expecting throughout this entire episode. So honestly, what I liked about this episode was that it gave me answers to many questions that most of us had when we started watching the Book of Boba Fett from episode 1. So it starts to answer, how did Boba from a bounty hunter turn into drop his arms and became a daimyo? Reason why he did that career change. What's with the back to tank? What's the reason behind his being hurt so much? Why is he so focused on protecting Tatooine in a way? What's his motive? So you don't really know what's driving him. Did he come out of the pit? What do you call that pit? The
Sarlacc pit.
Sarlacc pit, yeah. Coming out of the Sarlacc pit, just suddenly, hey, I'm gonna become a daimyo. Let me take over. So there were a lot of questions that weren't really laid out, but episode 4 gives you that clarity. And of course, the mystery of how did he and Fennec actually team up? What was that? What's the story behind that? So, okay, throughout, I'll explain it all. So the episode starts with a flashback of episode 3, just giving you that connection where Boba returns to the Sand People after being told that the protection fee was already paid to none other than the Pike Syndicate. So he found them massacred by this biker gang and gets really pissed off. He decides to hit back, but you know what? There are a lot of people. I'm just one guy. I have no Sand People to back me up, so I need some serious firepower. What does he need? He needs his ship back, right? Then throughout that fire spray, but I really like the original name.
Yeah.
But
It's
I guess
growing on me
you
though.
know,
It's growing on me though.
Fire Spray is
No,
awesome.
nothing beats fucking Slave One.
Yes.
Slave
Right?
One, man.
Yeah. It's
It's
problematic, I
classic.
understand, but that's such a powerful name. I love it. But, oh well,
Exactly.
we
But
have to
Fire Spray
just
is
get
not bad.
not bad.
Fire
Not bad,
Spray is
not
not bad. But the thing is, what we
Original
started
one.
knowing it as Slave One, so that one
Oh,
was
and I guess
awesome. Of
it's
course.
assumed that all of them are dead, right? The Tuscan.
Well, at
The
least his tribe.
The Raiders, his
yeah,
tribe,
that tribe was
not
dead.
every Sand
Mm.
people, but
Yeah.
No,
his entire
yeah,
tribe.
that everybody there. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, he even had to burn the bodies. So there was that
Yeah, but
flashback where
I just thought during that scene that last week that there
only
wasn't a
4
lot
or
of
5 guys.
bodies. Yeah, so I thought
Yeah,
maybe there
Mm.
was somebody captured or something.
I suppose it's assumed that everyone
So,
was just really
well, it's not
decimated.
100% because I'm also still
Yeah, like
kind of hoping that
the badass one is
at
alive.
the last episode of the series will be the few survivors, the Tuscan, his Power Ranger kids as Muscle. You have
Could
I know
be.
we're going ahead. That we'll have Fennec, we'll have BK. That's going to be his army against whomever big bad that he's going to be fighting against.
And
That's what I'm assuming.
his little pet,
Tiny,
little
tiny
pet Ranky.
Ranky the ranker, Rankar.
Obviously, he doesn't give him any name, but it gives you that framing why he's pretty much after the biker gang, the Pike Syndicate. He's kind of after a lot of things, right? So he needs his ship back. Then this flash of light comes out, the middle of nowhere, approaches it to find an almost dead Fennec. She was shot. So he brought her to the outskirts of Mos Espa to save her. But in order to do that, she had to have some inner parts turned into robotics. So
I love it. I love it.
But I didn't know. I mean, from the first 3 episodes, and I saw her fight and attack, but I did think that she was, part robot.
Oh, you didn't
But
see it?
it's
It was in
awesome.
Mando.
Yeah.
They showed it in
He was
Mando.
one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah.
I just like I
kind of
admire them
forgot that.
actually showing. That's such a video game moment.
I love the part
Mm.
where I love where the doctor says Boba was like, "You're not gonna cover up. Why are you gonna cover that?
Cover
It's-
up
it's
beautiful
so-
machinery.
Yeah,
I
know.
love that part. Oh my god.
That's right. That's right.
It's his work. Love it.
Exactly.
That's what
Some steam-
cyberpunk should have been, but
Cyberpunk. Yeah. Exactly. So he saves her. She realizes she's alive. Boba nurses her. So she feels like, I'm indebted to you. Okay, so what do I have to do? Are you gonna sell me? No, I'm not gonna sell you, because she's known to be the master assassin. So there's a bounty on her head. She doesn't even believe that he's Boba, because for all she knew, he died.
yeah,
And
he
the Sarlacc
didn't have armor.
exactly, and he didn't have any armor. He was dressed like the Sand People. So he just asks her, I just need my ship. Oh, I know where your ship is. It's in Bib Fortuna's castle. So I'll help you to do that. Then yes, your debt's
I'm out.
done. You're free to go. You're out. Fine. That's all I need. Thank you. Because I need my revenge. Blah blah blah. So he goes. She absolutely helps him out a lot. That little drone droid that gives that awesome 3D layout of the entire base. Massively overpowered. Too many enemies. But of course, if you had your fire spray ship, that would have been a walk in the park. So they found themselves through the sewers, up the kitchen, destroy some droids. One of the chef droids actually reminded me of General Grievous.
Exactly.
with that
I think
rotating knife.
yeah.
bit.
I've been listening to a lot of podcasts to prepare for our podcast about it, and a lot of the droids there were callbacks to Clone Wars, to Attack of the
Okay.
Clones. Even that chef droid is kind of like based out of the model that General
General
Grievous
Grievous
was
yeah.
doing. So even the bunny droid too. All of
The
those
bunny
were
droid.
like Easter eggs for hardcore fans.
Okay, I like it. It was awesome. So from the kitchen, found themselves to the fire spray, checks if it's still working. Obviously, Fennec, being the awesome master assassin that she is, single-handedly fends off the rest of the attackers. I'm not so sure if those Gamorrean guards eventually were the Gamorreans that joined his team.
Seems like they are, right?
It seems like, right? Because when they were introduced in episode 2, I suppose, they were saying that they were extremely loyal to the previous one, which is, it would be Bib Fortuna, right? So hopefully, I hope it was that origin, kind of was cool. And gets a ship, she rides in, and he goes, okay, so where do you want me to drop you off? Thanks, this is done. And she's like, you know what? I'm gonna stick for the ride, because I guess what Boba offered her was something that her other employers couldn't really offer. And coming from almost the same side of the coin, they were both assassins or bounty hunters. You're asked to kill someone or capture someone, right? So until when are you gonna keep doing it? So that was a good question. But if you join me, I'm gonna give you something that all your other employers couldn't give: loyalty. So anything I have, you're going to be part of it. If I grow this, seemingly mafioso family, you're going to feel it. You're going to be part of that growth. So for her, that's probably may not be a bad career change. Or, moving from one partner to another, why not just have something for the long run? I think that's something one of our brothers are kind of looking for right now. So, so he tries to get his armor, goes back to the Sarlacc pit, realizes it's not there, but it doesn't give me an answer how he got his armor back. Perhaps it's gonna be on the next episode.
Well, no, that's in
that was
Mando
in
here.
Mando na.
Mandalorian season 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Mando
I
had
Well,
the
didn't
armor.
get to watch.
Yeah. Oh, the what do you call it? The Marshal had the armor,
Then Mando got it,
and then Mando got it
Boba got it from
and gave it. Yeah.
He gave it to Boba.
Well, I think we can jump into the discussion there, because this is where I love that they put like hunting or getting revenge or killing the Sarlacc in the Sarlacc pit in the show. But it doesn't make sense if you really think about it. Because, okay, you got out of the pit, right? So the first episode, he fought his way out of the pit. And then the Trandoshans, who like those little scavenger
the
people.
Jawas.
The
Jawa.
Jawas, the ones that they were the ones that took his armor and left him for dead.
They're basically scavengers anyway.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
Even in
but
Mandalorian, right?
that's what I was kind of like thinking. Like, so you got out of the pit. What, you think that your armor magically fell back into the Sarlacc pit?
But
And
I
then
know.
that's why I have to get it?
Yeah, but I'm gonna give it a pass, because that's what I also thought, that like he got out of the pit, and then it took the Jawas took him. But I don't think he was thinking clearly anything at that point.
I think he was
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
just
Yeah, he's totally
wiped
out.
out.
I mean,
he didn't
with
even know how he got out.
with the juices and shit. Yeah, I don't think he even knew how he got out.
Yeah.
Remember-
So I mean, I know he didn't know
I
how
think-
to get out, but
I think episode 2 or 3, he said that I was saved by the Tusken Raiders. Oh, it was actually episode 3 or 4 already. He mentioned that, the Tusken Raiders saved me,
yeah.
took me in,
Mhm.
treated me like one of their own. Actually, they didn't. They treated you like a prisoner.
You had to
but-
prove yourself, but yeah, sure. No, but I'm just
yeah,
saying, like,
so-
even if I am out of my mind, I got out of the Sarlacc pit. So did he think that as he was getting out, his armor was falling away? And then he got out with,
No.
it's just one of those things that if you think too much, it doesn't make sense. But I'm still fucking happy that you fucking, for me, I'm looking at it as I was in your belly for a long time. Right?
Yeah.
So you tried to eat me, now I'm gonna fuck you up. That's what in my head, that's what I'm thinking about it. But just the idea is like, just Mando, Boba, think about it. It's like you got out, meaning that your armor was with you. Somebody took your armor.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But then that kind of answers, because he was covered in acid, right? So that kind of answers why we gotta get you a back attack.
But But
That's why he was so scarred.
okay, so that's also the other question that I was thinking that all right, so the back to tank was because he went back into the Sarlacc pit and he got acid on, right? Is that I don't know the answer.
I think so. But
Yeah,
Because
I'm
think
just
so.
happy that it's done.
the back
Yeah.
but yeah, but
Yeah.
he's been a
Because-
tank for a very, very long time. So was it just superficial scars that he was trying to
Well, it
fix?
might have been eating inside as well.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
imagine if that acid had little things that ate you continuously. So
Okay,
maybe
that's
that
true.
back.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why he was weak in the first few episodes, right? So again, because he just always get me back to the back to tank.
Plus when they took out his armor in the first episode, he looked like he was burnt. He looked like he was totally
He was already
third
being
degree
eaten up
burns.
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
So the
Okay.
back tank really had a lot of things that it had to fix, I suppose.
Yeah. I know it's the show's vehicle for clearer flashbacks. Like that's where he kind of thinks about the flashbacks, and this is it's the middle episodes, episode 4,
Hmm.
5, 6, 7 is the tail end, right? So
Correct.
it's smack in the middle, right at
Gives
the
you
point,
the
like,
clarity.
right. So this time I was like, right, back to tank done. Hopefully, lesser flashbacks. Most of the next episodes are present day or future. So, I kind of like the placing, but yeah, there's we can discuss more of the things that you guys liked about the.
Yeah, but the thing is, it just I like this episode, but I felt that it could have given me more clarity much earlier on. Because I was like, I'm watching this and I was like, damn, I still have a lot of questions. So I'm not so sure if that was really the intention to create questions. But,
Yeah, I mean you're right. I
But-
mean my comment about this episode, because like you're saying, I did like it too, but this would have been better a little earlier. Because this is the first time that, not only do we get explanation of him and Fennec, him needing the back to tank, why he wants to be a daimyo, and talking to the different
Families.
what was that last episode where he talked to the different families?
This one.
Or this episode? Okay, so this one.
This
So
one.
this is where he spoke to all the different families and what he wanted to do. But again, it's like you put it in the middle. It's kind of we're going back to essentially the start of his quest. But we'll see.
Yeah, but before the family talk though, we had some action from Black Chrysanthemum.
Black
Freaking hell,
Kennedy.
ripping off an arm.
Dude, he looks so good. Just
Being a bully, I love
being
it.
like
Yeah.
this in the couch or in the booth.
Yeah,
And
Mhm.
his knuckles, his face,
Knuckle
his
dusters.
eyes.
I love his facial
looks so
reaction.
good.
Like,
I know.
he's getting pissed off.
He just wanted to that's how badass. So I love the fact that
Wait,
we've
why was
always
he
been-
pissed though?
he was just pissed.
He was just
He's
pissed.
just being a bully.
Yeah.
He just
Just
he,
being
he
him.
he saw people having fun and he didn't want people having fun. And that's
it was-
a great vehicle, because we've always been associating Wookiees to gentle giants, smart, gentle giants. And then we see Black Chrysanthemum just like fucking people up, just tearing somebody's arm off just because he wants, just like, you know what?
Just because he
You were
can.
laughing. You were laughing. You were having fun in my presence. I'm gonna fucking tear your arm off.
And he kind of listened, and he kind of did. I mean, he stopped.
So
You are a champion. This is beneath you. Like,
yeah, you're right. So even Garza, I'm loving Garza more and more.
Who's Garza?
The owner of the club.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
Yeah.
The
So I'm
Twilight.
loving that character more and more. So if there are more Mandalorian or Boba Fett seasons, and let's say the main base is Jabba's palace, I would love to see more of Garza as essentially the real keeper of peace, because like everybody goes through, like all the information goes there, and all dealings, a lot of
Yeah.
dealings goes there. So I'm excited about that character.
That's right. Oh, and when they were having that meeting with the family, and it was rightfully so that they were doubting, why should we pledge our people, our blood for you and your pride war to save your territory. Why don't we just take your territory and get this over with? Makes a lot of sense. Because if you're thinking if each one of those were like mob boss families, they'd be like, why are we going to help you? You're new. You don't even have your own army and you want to borrow ours? Dream on, man.
I don't
And
know.
then what does he do?
Yeah.
What does he do?
Uranki.
His
What's
baby
name?
Ranky just does this roar. Everyone's just like,
And the claw.
Serious.
No, but I'm with the Boba on that because it's invading their planet. Usually, the big bad comes in. It's easy. It's much more logical to band together for at least
Correct.
temporary.
You know, yeah, but these guys, they said like they're also benefiting from the spice trade. So they're getting money. So they're like, like, sorry to say, in many countries, like the Philippines and many others, even people in power will allow foreign
Mm-hmm.
bodies to do whatever they want because they benefit. So sad to say, but that's a political move. I guess these families
I still
they'll do
don't.
what they can to protect their own and their interests. So even if it means
I,
siding with the devil.
I also really enjoyed this episode, but there's still those things like as logical as Boba makes sense in the end with talking to Fennec about his deal was the best for them at this
Yeah.
moment. It's still iffy to go into war by himself when any of them can just
Yeah.
betray him at the I mean there's what like six families or 7.
Mhm.
It just takes one to blindside to be greedy enough to blindside him. It just so
100%.
But
And
he
that's the
doesn't trust
thing.
them.
Yeah,
He doesn't trust them.
I think that's the reason. Because like when I was watching the episode, I was thinking about it, and then they said like, all right, again, like what Arjun mentions, like why should we side with you when like this is this force is we'll just cooperate with the other force, and then they can continue with their continue with their work.
I assume they're gonna take over everything.
Well, that's what Mando is kind of alluding to, saying that these four invaders, these the Pike Syndicate will eventually kind of
Drain this
ruin
planet.
ruin the planet, because I'm sure that they're going to just like use it and abuse the power. So with him in place, they can cooperate more and make sure that everyone makes money, not just the Pike Syndicate. So that's, I think, what he was alluding to. But what I was initially iffy about was like everybody said no, and I was surprised about the new option of then fine,
Just
let
leave
me
Let us
handle the Pike.
actually,
Fine. Let me
I'll
handle
fight.
the Pike Syndicate by myself. Just don't pick a side. Stay neutral and let me work on it. So that's part of it, is showing that he's going to be like he
I can do
deserves
it,
to be the new daimyo. And then secondarily is like, again, like what CHUBAX mentioned, just one of those families betrays him, he's dead, right?
Yeah.
Right? So minimizing the risk, because in the end he still needs to fight the syndicate anyway. So I really appreciated that.
Yeah. Pretty good. I like this episode. I'm now ready for more, actually, moving forward, because you've come full circle.
Mhm.
You understand his motive. You understand what drives him, what he's fighting against. I still don't know what muscle he has, because at the end the
Oh.
families didn't pledge
I mean,
anything.
he did get Black K. He did get Black K.
He
So,
did, but
yeah.
you're
I'm
talking
so happy about that. He still did name
how many of them?
Gamorreans though. The Gamorreans name.
The thing here though, that this was, even without listening to podcasts about the episode, the end scene, they were playing Mandalorian's theme, the flute. So everybody is expecting his crew will be Black K, Fennec,
and Mandalorian.
Din Djarin, him, the Rancor, and the Power Rangers. I mean, essentially that should be enough. Right? I'm thinking.
I do appreciate one of my nitpicks before was he's not really smart, and then he says, I need brains and bronze, and you have both of Fennec. And then I also appreciate the fact that they've
Hmm.
I like that they went out of their way to make sure that Fennec isn't tied because of the debt.
Mhm.
She chose to be
Yeah.
here, so that makes it
Mm.
a lot better. Not just being a blood debt. So I love it.
Shall we? So like, let's rank and then say the things that we liked or did not like about the episodes. Go with your box.
So, uh, what was my ranking last week? I'll go with
Yeah,
my.
go back. Go back. Go back to
I can
see
go back. I can go back
the
now, right?
previous episode.
Yeah, so 8.5. 8.5. I'll go with a solid 8 here.
Really?
Okay, you're right. Maybe 7.5. Uh,
Oh, that's me. That's
yeah, there was a lot. Oh, that's you. There was a lot. I mean, there's still some missteps. The thing with the I don't like when they make Boba little weak, like fighting the small droid. I
Yeah,
mean, they
it was a
they
little
gi-
Yeah,
comedic too.
it was very
yeah
clumsy.
they gave
Was clumsy.
Fennec was badass. All her gadgets. She had the the drone. She knew how to. I like that she her skills was like immediately useful for Boba, and I like that
Yeah.
they're not like overlapping in skills. So as I said, my nitpick before that Boba's not that smart. So I like that he's acknowledged that, and he knows that you're good at this and I'm not. So I need you. I'm not like
Mhm.
I just need you for nothing. So that was good. Getting the fire
Correct.
spray was fun. I also like how you see that the fire spray isn't really well designed, especially in like tight places like that. You can't even see. Right?
Yeah. Because it's meant to work like a freaking
Standing up.
crucifix.
I
The-
know. So
Yeah,
it's
it's a
like
ship that's freaking a crucifix, man.
and it's so much a hassle
So
to sit down and be like lying down essentially. And then
yeah,
I love the black case scenes coming together. Still,
oh dude.
I like Jong. I was surprised, and I like that he had another option. Like just be neutral, side with me. But still thinking about it, it's still not very smart. And
Mhm.
it's like it takes one guy to betray him, and he's fucked. But yeah,
Mm.
I like it. I like it where it's going. I just hope that the John Wick Tusken Raider comes back. The female Tusken Raider, the black one,
Ooh,
will be part
yeah,
of her
yeah,
crew,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Again, my hope is still like the of course, like the strongest ones were able to survive the ambush. My hope, that's my hope, and that will round out his army to defeat the White
Yeah.
Syndicate.
I know. I mean, and I love
Hope so.
I love him killing the bikers. I love how he just.
Oh.
I also love how
Oh,
he used
oh yeah, we
to.
forgot about that scene.
Right, and
Oh, that's a good scene.
I also loved
Yeah.
how he killed the Sarlacc pit with the sonic mine. Still,
Yeah, but he was so but it wasn't him. It
It
was
was
it's
Fennec,
Fennec.
and he
Fennec.
was like,
Don't touch my
and
stuff.
after, don't touch my stuff.
I know, but yeah, some questions like why did he think it was there? And my wife was like, how did she know that button was a sonic mine? Yes, a little, nitpicks in there here and there, so
True, true,
skipping it a little
true.
low. But overall, I like where the direction is going. So, and I'm loving that there's no more back to tank. Hopefully in the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give it a 7.5. But still good fun series.
Hmm.
I'll
Nice.
go. I
Oh,
think I'm also exactly at a 7.5, and it's weird because I really like this episode. There had really high highs. Like I do like them giving Fennec an episode. Like this is a Fennec
Hmm.
centric episode.
True.
Giving her making sure that she's a little bit more of a badass than normal. Um, I like the callbacks to getting the fire spray and getting the attempting to get the armor, getting back at the biker gang that ambushed and killed his tribe. All of those were like wonderful, wonderful scenes. Again, hiring Black Chrysanthemum was great. making sure that he's also a badass, giving him a little bit of like a backdoor backstory about him being a champion and
Gladiator.
etc. So it's like,
Yeah.
everything was there. But the thing that kind of really draws me away, why this is not like an 8.5 or a 9, is like a few things just didn't make sense. Like going back for the armor, I'm still scratching my head. Like no one thought about that. Like no one,
Yeah.
even a
Yeah, why would
throwaway
you go
line,
back there?
right? Like even a throwaway line by Fennec would have been nice. It's saying like, wait, you think it's in there? They said like, oh, it would have been melted by now. And then Boba said,
doesn't
no,
melt.
not Beskar, right? Not Beskar, right? So that's true. So you had an explanation about how it could be there, but Fennec didn't say like, wait, how
Then
did
how
you
did
get
you
out
escape?
with the armor still in there, right? Even
Hmm.
something like that, and even if Boba just said like, let's just be sure, right? Maybe I left it in the surrounding areas and it got eaten again, something like that. So just I know they were just trying to kill the Sarlacc because just I know they're trying to find a cool way to kill something that big,
Mhm.
but they didn't. But so that took me away, and then also the plan with the family. Like I figured you'd you have a plan to, because he doesn't have a plan to fight against the Pike Syndicate yet.
I know.
He just knows
No.
that he has to fight against them and claim stuff with them. So Fennec was the one who said like, we need more we need more muscle. I get it. I know where I can get some more muscle. And then they play the Mandalorian theme, which is fucking cool. But
Mm.
I would rather have that meeting before the meeting with the
families.
with the family.
With the families. Yeah,
Right?
you're
It's
right.
like now
you're
at
right.
least you go in saying that, okay, even if you say no, I have a plan for myself. Because right, he just said no. It's just like, all right, just be neutral and I'll handle the Pike Syndicate. How are you gonna Pike Syndicate? Yeah. So I was like, but it's weird because I really, really like this episode. It's just there's a few points there that kind of like missed me a little bit. But weirdly, this is the first Boba Fett episode that made me look forward to the next one. Because like what CHUBAX said, no more flashbacks. So we know that this is going to move the story forward. We know what's gonna happen. It's just, Boba's crew versus the Pike Syndicate. And of course, a lot of people have been saying the Pike Syndicate must be under a bigger syndicate for maybe season 2 or season 3, like
Many
the
are saying
Crimson
it's the
Dawn.
Crimson Dawn under Darth
Yeah,
Maul.
so Emilia Clarke might come back in there,
Yeah.
So I like where it's progressing, and this is the first week where we can say like, all right, how much of the episode will be flashback? How much episode will be? It's like, because we've always been dilly-dallying and we don't know what we're gonna get. Now at least it's a little bit clear. How about you, Jay? What do you think?
Oh, Darth Maul's dead by now.
Well,
right? Or-
yeah.
yeah. Well, for me, I still feel it deserves an 8, only because it gave a lot of answers to the question. So this was a key episode to have to make you better understand the season in its entirety. So I'll give it an 8 because for story value. I like the Black Chrysanthemum scene. I like the revenge against the bikers. I like the Rancor's threat. It was just action was not as many as I hoped it would be, but story wise and its value to the entire season, I think this is quite an important episode. That if you're watching the entire season and you miss out episode 4, you're missing out
That's true.
a lot of answers, and you'll just be watching and wondering what's the reason behind this. But yes, I agree. It's not anything higher, and I can't afford to give it anything higher because it does a lot of it still wasn't really thought out properly. But hey, at least hopefully Back to Tank is already done.
Done. Okay.
Maybe he can be more badass in the next ones.
All right, that's our discussion of episode 4 of the Book of Boba Fett. We're looking forward to episode 5. 3 more episodes left. So it's one of those things that all right, I can't wait to get this story like ramped up and closed out, but also it's like shit, there's 3 more episodes.
I
Want
know.
some more.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get more information about whether they are going to have a second season. So I did a bit of rumor research about the Book of Boba Fett. One of the prevailing theories is, usually Disney Plus kind of hypes up second or third season,
Mhm.
towards the latter half of that first of that particular show
First
season.
season. Yeah.
So usually we'd probably hear a second season for Book of Boba Fett around by now, but they haven't had any inklings about this. So a prevailing Reddit hope/theory: what if this is a one-off Book of Boba Fett season, and they merge it with
With
the Mandalorian,
Mandalorian.
and then what happens is both so everybody's um home base will be um
Mandalorian.
no the
Tatooine.
Tatooine.
Oh, Tatooine.
Alright.
Sorry.
And then it'll be Jabba's palace, so that will be Din Djarin's home base. That will be some
Mhm.
of um Bo Katan's, like they can visit there from time to time while they're trying to get back their home world, etc., etc. And both
Could be.
Fennec and Boba can still continue managing Tatooine for funds as well as protection as well as home base.
Mhm.
So hopefully the hope is like the next few seasons of The Mandalorian can be a combination of that crew, because it's a big crew now. You can't,
Yeah.
we want Black Chrysanthemum, we want Fennec, we want Boba, we want Din, we want Bo-Katan. But we don't, having an individual show for each one of those characters might not make sense, and then breaking them up into 2 or 3 might also not make sense. Might just well like one Mandalorian crew, and
Mhm.
some episodes can be pairs, individuals of those crews. So that's my hope. That's the theory that I enjoyed the most. Um, but we'll continue to monitor Book of Boba Fett, and that's it for episode 4. Next
Oh
up, we
yeah.
have Peacemaker, episode 4 as well. All right. Title of the episode is The Chode Less Traveled. And all of the episodes of the Peacemaker were written by James Gunn, or written
Yeah.
while they were filming the Suicide Squad. And I this is where one of those things kind of like one of the episodes that kind of highlight that your concentration wasn't 100% on Peacemaker, because
I don't know. I loved it.
yeah. Um, but this is one of the episodes that James Gunn did not direct. So episode 4 begins after the quote unquote successful mission from the Senator Goff's or assassinating Senator Goff's family.
Mhm.
Also the last bit of episode 3, we figured out what the butterflies exactly are. They're alien butterflies that invades a person and controls them from the inside.
Really not big on.
They're not creative with
yeah,
with their
creative.
names. Project
Mm.
Starfish and the Project Butterfly. The first part of the episode was Mern and Peacemaker debriefing about the kind of the yips, or Peacemaker hesitating killing
Yes.
his targets. Peacemaker making the dove of peace as his main excuse, but in essence, it's just him being able to him being told to kill the kids and kill the family. This is one of my favorite parts, because like last episode, I was debating like his most famous line in the Suicide Squad movie. It's like, I will, no matter how many women or children I have to kill to gain peace, I would. And then him hesitating to kill the kids, aliens at this point too. I was very confused. And then it was immediately explained that yes, I won't hesitate to kill women and children for peace, but I will hesitate when people tell me to kill them, just to tell me to kill them.
No, I
It's
won't kill
still-
them just because you said it.
You said so.
Yeah, you
Mm.
said
So
so.
it's
He has to justify it
Which
himself.
I think he has a point because
he had 100%
Of course.
point. Nobody
Yeah,
told him
agree with
about
it.
what
yeah, why
Project
they
Butterfly
should
was.
so they should tell him.
Just like,
Maybe you could still cure them. Diba? It's not like
no, either way, it's just like, yeah, they're aliens inside them that controlling them. They're not actually people. But nobody told him what Project Butterfly is. That's why he was hesitating.
Mhm.
So Peacemaker was told to head back out with Vigilante, and then come back that night. But while that was being explained, Mern also kind of explained that his dad is in jail because they made a boo boo and framing his dad.
That's so stupid.
So
it
I
was
I
super stupid.
I love that they're leaning into it. That they're
Yeah,
like
no, I
trying
know.
to
Uh, I
right.
mean, it's
I love it.
stupid. Not stupid for the show. It's stupid that he did that as
No,
a character. I
correct.
mean,
But also like or so now now that we're what do you call this, we are accepting the fact that it was a mistake, it was a stupid mistake at that. The idea was like, all right, Peacemaker now wants to go to jail and no, not, visit his dad in jail, advised not to because him going to jail means that Peacemaker will explain why his dad is there and his dad can then rat them out. Wonderful conversation about being a rat.
that is
Mhm.
technically what a rat is.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
I'm not a
sure.
rat, but
Technically,
as
that
soon as I
makes
have,
you a rat.
yeah, I'm not a rat, but as soon as I have an opportunity to tell somebody what had happened, I will spill all the beans. Like that's being a rat. But
I know.
um, they tried to stop Peacemaker from speaking to his dad, but Leota was a little bit late getting there, and Chris Peacemaker still went in, spoke to his dad about the switching of the fingerprints. That's why he's in jail and not the dad Augie was in jail, not Peacemaker. Um, a lot of a cool backstory about Peacemaker's character here. I think this is the episode that really made you feel that Peacemaker was a very three-dimensional character, and also like why he's like that. Um, um, and just a little bit of conversation about what was his what's Maker's file, that his white supremacist abused him as a child. There was a death in their family. His brother died and Peacemaker was involved. No real details about that. We have glimpses towards the end of the episode on what had happened, but it's not 100% clear. A lot of conversation about this when Peacemaker was in jail and did all of that, spilled the beans. He wasn't arrested, luckily, while he was in jail, because the dad was like kind of give him an opportunity to kind of like clear it up a little bit, but also the detective that was investigating the case wasn't there. So he'll say like as soon as that detective comes back in, Augie, the dad, will tell them about the switching of the fingerprints. That will be a quick proof that Augie wasn't there, and then Peacemaker needs to be in jail about what had happened during the apartment complex scene. Um, Vigilante kind of felt a little bit guilty, and then him being the actual real friend about this felt that he needed to do something. So the conversation that Vigilante had with Leota about Leota's giving um, Vigilante the reason why Peacemaker was torn up, and Peacemaker is like that about everything, and because of his abuse by his dad. Um, and now because the dad Augie knew about what had happened and how he got into jail. Now Peacemaker is going to go into jail because he's the actual person there. So Vigilante had this amazing plan of getting himself caught so that he could kill Peacemaker's dad. Again, I love that they're leaning into the absurdity of certain things. Like, right, sure, to make sure that Peacemaker is in the clear. Let's just kill the dad. But he's not thinking two steps ahead that Peacemaker will be very upset with his dad. But during that scene, though,
He doesn't seem like the guy to think two steps ahead.
100%,
Vigilante.
100%. Vigilante was able to get himself into jail. He was able to coax the white supremacy gang into fighting as a cover, just in case he's able to kill the white dragon, Augie the Dat. But Augie, being very smart, being a
Yeah.
very, very, very
Very
like
smart.
what do you call this? A seasoned criminal knows, explains like, oh, you're just trying to coax us in the camera, make us attack first so that you'll be in the clear to kill us. Okay, cool. All right. That's smart. Shows that Augie is a mastermind, but also cool that to show Vigilante as a badass too, with one less pinky toe. Right.
Half a time.
Yeah. Eventually he gets released as well. She explained that he might have gotten things worse because now Augie knows that he came there to kill him, like
On
Vigilante
orders
came
of
there to kill
yeah.
and orders
Of someone.
Of Peacemaker.
Peacemaker's team, doesn't matter. Right. So that's a little bit part, but also along the same time there is they caught Judo Master. And Judo Master was being sedated in their home base. He eventually escapes, kicking the bejesus out of John Economos. Peacemaker luckily swings by, or is told that that Judo Master escapes, goes to the home base. They did a little showdown. He jumped from the window to the ground floor of their home base with
superhero
With a
landing.
superhero
one of the
landing.
more cool superhero landings that I've seen in a while. Right. So I really like that jump. And then there's kind of this like very, very tacky Western showdown. Like instead of a hay bale.
That's so horrible for your knee. Can you imagine jumping down with your weight slamming on your knee? Dude, you're like
I just love the dialogue because it's like so funny but so real. Like that's what I would say if I'm Peacemaker and I do the landing and I come up, it's like, hey, rematch,
Motherfucker. Cool lines. Cool lines. Also, I mean, I love that it's so fun. Like again, it's a Western showdown.
Yeah.
East versus West,
with the
but it's a
chip thing being the
but
flying thing.
instead of like a deserted road, it is a parking lot. Instead of a hay bale rolling, it's a bag of chips, presumably from
what he was eating.
from Judo Master, because he was eating a lot of chips. So cool fight scene ensues. They were neck and neck a little bit, but in the end,
I think
finally,
Peacemaker was actually on the upper hand.
yeah. I mean, he indicated too, because
I was
Leota
winning
then,
that.
shoots Judo Master right in the chest. Right, and then and again, there's so many funny quips here that I want to explain, but you guys just watch it, because there's a little quip about, martial arts masters are able to move the kidney to the heart, and the heart to the kidney. It's like, the fuck? It's like,
What?
What? Like,
Sometimes
they
it
can.
happens.
No, yeah, really.
Sometimes only masters. No, that's never. No, the kidney was never able to pump blood instead of the heart. But yeah, they were able to subdue Judo Master again. He has, he's back in the home base trying to recuperate, and essentially that's it. We all along that time, I also skipped the part that because of Harcourt at the bar scene with Harcourt mentioning about his file and his childhood. Peacemaker kind of remembered how bad he had been, so he had this very long scene of just drinking and dancing to and showing that he was able to capture one of the butterflies. So Eagly, the butterfly, and himself were all just tripping balls in the apartment. So I like that very, very emotional scene too. So right, that's at the last bit,
very important last
the
bit.
very, very important last bit is, after all of this has happened, they reported back to Myrn
Myrn.
that all right, this is what had happened. Like
Leota found a lead.
Leota found the lead, but also of a business card of a business of a laundry shop
Bottling plant, I
at
think.
my
Something.
like a bottling place, like a factory where
Yeah.
both the crazy female that Peacemaker killed, as well as some evidence that they found at the Goff mansion. So it's like, all right, come back. We have a lead, and we see that Mern is a butterfly. Right?
Oh yeah.
So drinking orange juice out of a bowl with his long tongue, and that is the
So
end
freaky.
of the episode. But
know.
also, again, I want to remind everybody: watch the end credit scene. It's always so fun. So the end credit scene here is just an extended version of the duck joke while they were escaping. But I was listening to it, and then I'm listening to a lot of podcasts about the shows that we are watching for preparation, and the people were saying that, all right, James Gunn has this way of writing where it's like conversational, absurd, fun. So it's it's light, it's not very tight, but that's James Gunn's style of writing. This, if John Cena was improving, it was a very long, very straight, very clear way of explaining, right? So that's
Why?
impressive, but if that was written too, it's still impressive because that's a lot of lines to remember, and he hit all the points. So
Yeah.
I'm loving, this is the show that from intro to extra, I just play. Like, we don't skip the dance part and we don't skip the end part. So
Absolutely not.
so Jay, what do you think about Peacemaker episode 4, favorite storylines and things that you want to discuss?
I really like how Vigilante was a real friend to the Peacemaker.
Sure.
How in the beginning part, how sarcastic he was, and how Peacemaker was picking up on it. No, the way you said, dude, you're angry. No. And I like how they bantered all the way to his dad's house, and he jumps inside and then comments on the dad's white dragon costume. There's a lot of holes. I think that's gonna be crucial.
It's
There's gonna be a lot of
foreshadowing for
gaps
sure.
and yeah. And he'll say like his dad was this ultra racist, and of course John Cena being so protective about it, and he goes, "Well, if it walks like a duck," and he's like, "What do you mean? A duck in a person costume?
Person suit?
In a person
How will
suit?
that work?
How would that work?" I just love
The
that
beak.
entire nonsensical conversation, yet it seemed like it had a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you talking about it's a saying, but then you're like, wow, they really took it seriously. Yet afterwards, he apologizes sincerely. Vigilante feels somewhat responsible, so he wants to. This is pretty good. There's action involved. There was this family history, which answers why he's that messed up. And of course, the reveal at the end was pretty good. I like this episode quite a lot.
How about you, CHUBAX? What things that you like and points in the story?
Yeah, like RJ, I love this episode. It's just we're getting more deeper, but it's still fun. Like
Yeah.
I got his best friend to kill his dad. You mean Vigilante, not Eagly, right? Eagly's the best friend.
Eagle is the best friend. I just don't want to get confused. Like,
Who would
Dude.
think that? Maybe hardcore. What?
Bugger.
I always tell you I'm sick, but I'm not. I know that motherfucker. I just don't care.
I just don't care.
So yeah, so
Who would believe that you would talk and get an eagle to kill his dad?
But yeah, I love it. Like from what you said, Jong, the part where he said, "I'll kill children," but not just because you said so. So he's becoming more well-rounded the character, and starting to see also that Vigilante is becoming his best friend. So
Mhm.
there is that. That's good. I like how I'm not the guy that likes secrets, but I did like how he kept the butterfly because they're not telling him shit. So like
Yeah.
he has to figure something out. So that was fun. And then his dad is just somebody you love to hate. He's badass. He's smart. I like that. And we're starting to
Great
see
villain.
Adebayo's skills in manipulating.
Mm.
And he obviously killed Judo, or tried to kill Judo Master because he was gonna say something that would have
Mhm.
compromised what Waller wanted.
Oh, that's the other thing too.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's so good. Like everything, the duck jokes. I'm trying to think of everything.
Oh, and
Um,
hardcore was actually pretty observant when they saw the picture of Vigilante. Hey, he's the guy that
yeah,
served us in that family restaurant. I was like, awesome, because that shows how observant she
she's
was.
supposed to be, yeah.
Because I could not remember every single person that would serve me in a restaurant.
So
I
yeah,
There's
couldn't.
and
probably just one restaurant there in that town that they
I
say it's like
suppose. Yeah.
but it's good though that she figured that
Yeah.
out.
She could
yeah,
made an
so
instant connection.
yeah. Oh, so yeah, that's it. That's what everything. I love the episode. I also love the Batman dialogue.
Oh my god, yes.
Right?
Mm.
Yes. Yes.
Eh, how many people
With the neighbor.
has he indirectly killed because he didn't put him in the ground? All my rivals are six
He's
feet
such a
under.
pussy.
I love it, and it makes
Being a pussy.
sense. So yeah,
It does, because what he
so
does
good.
is he captures Joker, puts him in Arkham Asylum. He
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 escapes,
escapes.
kills
escapes,
more
kills
people.
more people. Oh my god, I love. And
Yeah, so it's so good. Yeah, and what else? Vigilante, the bio. Yeah, I'm excited for next episode because I saw the promo. It's the one where he does a PowerPoint presentation and see and
what?
What?
Peacemaker's on his ass like you suck in the PowerPoint, John. And John's like, come on, man. I had to think of something first. He's still pissed about the dad being in jail. So, but yeah, and you, John.
So this is the episode that kind of is putting a better foundation in terms of what DCU can do. Like I
Yeah.
love the idea. So at first, the first three episodes I enjoyed because we had very little expectations of not only Peacemaker the character, but just John Cena. We've never seen him as a lead.
Yes.
So we don't have a lot of worry. Like this is and it is James Gunn. So we just started off at this is gonna be funny, this is gonna be hyper violent, and then let's just have a little bit of fun. This is kind of providing me with more hope because even this is not even a B-list comic book character. It's like a C or D-list
Mm-hmm.
character. You can give them a very deep and rich backstory that makes sense, that is still funny, and that is still hyper violent, right?
And the chemistry
But
is good.
more chemistry, but more importantly, we forget that we have to be reminded that this world has a Superman, has a Batman,
Yep.
right? And the reason why they're
Yes.
not there or they're not doing certain things is the things that they're doing are fucked up and shitty, which is but necessary,
I
right?
remembered the guy. Why did you kill those kids? It's because you didn't put a dove on the fucking gun. You see this? It's a dove.
You should put the double piece. That's and they have character motivations. You can still see that people are still slightly overpowered, like judo master, as tiny as he is, he's still like fucking people up left and right. But still get shot. Vigilante as well, like one toe or like one less toe. So I like the fact that they're
Ah,
building a world that can make sense. Like we could
Mm-hmm.
we could have random characters have these seasons that can eventually be into a bigger universe, but you don't have to. Like this works. 6, 7 episodes of this works. It's fun. It's great. It's entertaining. Lots of action. It's also helping develop the DCU because the movies suck. So, might as well go this route and, having a farm league, like look at the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. This is
Yeah.
becoming more and more of like the thing that we're supported. But again, I love the idea that we're getting more of Peacemaker's backstory, more of we're foreshadowing something important's going to happen with the White Dragon. We want to figure out what's with butterflies. Are they good? Are they bad? Right? It's like, maybe
It's probably like people, some good, some bad.
or probably it's Amanda Waller's project. The butterflies are their tools to control people, and the
That
few
is
people
true.
that the few butterflies that kind of went awry are the ones that they're killing, because we saw that there's so many butterflies there, right? So I don't know. So
And
it can go the route.
what was your interpretation of the brother thing with John Cena? With Chris and his brother and the dad.
So it's trying to show us that during their training, John Cena killed his brother, right? That's what I think that they're trying
No,
to
for
show.
I
But I'm sure
think
that there's
no. What I think was happening because they showed the picture. They weren't different at age. I think
Hmm.
somebody punched his brother. The brother died because he had an epileptic seizure. And the
There was
scene
a
with him,
seizure.
with him stabbing somebody was, I think that's the guy that punched the kid, the brother.
okay. Yeah,
So
that can work.
the dad forced him to kill
That guy.
the guy who
That the
shot.
guy that yeah,
Mhm.
okay. So that might again that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like I thought, just like they fought each other and he punched his brother a little too hard, and then brother died. That's what I expect. But either way, that can work as well. It's gonna be definitely explained in the next two episodes, just to make sure that I mean, if this is like a CW movie, the brother is still alive somewhere. Yeah.
and
Mm.
I also like how the slow realization that his dad he of Chris realizing that his dad is an asshole.
Yeah.
Because you think it's not realistic, but again, he was probably isolated since he was
Hmm.
young, grew up under his dad and everything, trained, and when he went out, he wasn't making friends. He was just killing people. So nobody told him that, dude, your dad sucks until now.
Yeah.
So it's like it's so good.
And yeah, I think this is going to be fun. I like the action scenes. I like the comedy. So I actually like the fact that the comedy doesn't land all the time, because it's just the idea of like you're just talking, like
Yes.
you're just talking. I that hardcore banter between Economos about um the Eagly, the best friend. I actually didn't like it, but I like the idea that he's trying to just like he's scrambling, right? He's trying to be relevant. He's trying to make sure that it wasn't, he's still smart and he's still useful. So I
Because
like
at the
that
moment,
idea.
he's not.
Last
Uh,
point before we put our ratings and move on to our main topic is uh the last, or like one of the last scenes was Harcourt picking up
Vigilante.
Vigilante from the jail, and Harcourt coming from the bar, presumably tired and drunk, right?
Hmm.
Are they gonna hook up?
She did have that
Look,
look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if that look was that look.
Like a sympathetic,
So
horny look.
yeah, or like they. So I think like that's another reason that maybe the next episode, because this is episode 4, you have 3 more episodes. Maybe episode 5 is um Peacemaker breaking bad because of everything, killing Vigilante or something like that, killing his best friend because of
I hope not.
trying to kill his dad and fucking his love interest. I don't know, but we'll see.
We'll
Either
see.
way, I'm happy. All right, round of ratings. Let's start with you, Jay.
Um, I'll give it an 8. Very meaningful. I liked it, or maybe 8.8 to 8.5. But that's my rating there. I like the action. I like the story. Made a lot of sense. Um, humorous banter, which I think would make a would be something we'd be remembering. How about you,
Chuba.
Chubax?
I'll stick with the current. My old score 9. I love it. It's stress free. It's nothing
Mhm.
Hmm.
too deep, but not very shallow. So it's doing that tightrope thing where I love good action, good humor. I love it. Jong.
I'm with RJ. It's a solid 8.5 because this time it was funny enough, great action, but I think it's higher than my last week's rating because this time there's a lot more heart, a lot more. You can see the emotions without being like slapped with it. Like I love the drunken dancing scene and then laying on the floor and getting high. I love that part.
Yeah.
I love also like the realization of vigilante of how fucked up um what do you call this the white dragon is. So yeah, it's way more deep, and I do like the idea that all right, we know that Adebayo knows something. That's why she
Mhm.
shot um judo master. And then now we have an added layer of Mern being a butterfly as well. So it's gonna
Hmm.
get complicated soon. It's gonna be fun to figure out all of these things.
Yes.
So
It's gonna be fun
What was his
seeing
pickup line
Peacemaker
with
do it.
Mhm.
what was his pickup line with hardcore?
wait, was it their pickup line?
Something about
Oh,
his tits.
she said, your tits look good in that shirt or something, and that's a
Mhm.
compliment. It's not pickup line.
That's not
That's
sexist. It's just a statement of
Yeah,
fact.
it's just a statement. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it sexist?
that
I mean, I don't
yeah,
know.
it is. I
you're
mean, like
you're you're objectifying women, I
mm,
suppose. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. Some will find it offensive. Some will probably laugh and
I mean, I guess it
go home with you.
is sexist, especially if it's the only thing that he comments on,
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
nothing else.
But either way, like yeah, that was quick, nice banter as well. Like I really enjoyed that
Hmm.
delivery too. So but yeah, all right. That is Peacemaker episode 4. I think we're all excited of the last 3 episodes of this show. Again,
Yeah.
same problem with Boba Fett. Like I really can't wait for the resolution about all of these issues. I don't know if there's going to be a season 2, right? I mean, I
Mhm.
hope, I would love that there isn't. I would love to have like a different Suicide Squad person every season. Um, but yeah, maybe they'll kill Peacemaker at the end so that they could continue the Project Butterfly stuff or whatever. But
Or he'll go
again,
to
very
jail. I
excited.
don't know.
Yeah, or go to jail. I'll go back to Bellevue or Ravencroft or something like that. All right, we're off to our main topic. I will turn over the stage to CHUBAX for a bit of
Box.
a plot synopsis.
So
Then
this we're
we'll
gonna
just
be using a little wiki, but
Mhm.
again we'll do it kind of funny style. Just interrupt, just tell me when to stop, and then we'll
Mhm.
discuss points as I go along.
Sure.
So with some backstory, we'll start with the backstory so that it's not confusing at the end. But like 5 years after, I guess Ghostbusters 2, Egon has a falling out with his other Ghostbusters,
Mhm.
and then he finds about something about uh prophecy of end of the world in 2021, and it's in Somerville, so he relocates there by himself, and then in
Dirt
20
farmer.
yeah, so and he's called the Dirt Farmer, and in 2021 we see him um he's trying to he's fighting a ghost, and then he tries to lure a ghost to his place in a farm, but something fails, so he gets killed, but the people think
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
by the ghost. He was able to hide a trap. Oh, he captured one ghost, and
A
then
ghost, yeah.
a ghost, and
Hey,
then
ghost.
some another ghost was after him. He tried to capture that, he failed, so that ghost killed him. But before he got killed, he was able to hide the ghost, the trap that he got. So
Mhm.
I like how they did this. The scenes where it's a little shadowy
I
because the actor's dead.
that's so you mean point interruption point number 1. Bold move.
I know, and
Bold move to
no
keep
dialogue,
Egon,
no dialogue.
but to
With no
keep
dialogue.
Egon, like to assume that he's still like use him in the movie despite him being dead in real life. That's the benefit of having the kids both being the director and the
Yes,
producer and the
yes.
writer,
Yes.
so they were able to kind of provide consent, and it made sense and it worked. So I really like. I
Mhm.
mean, again, Chubax, you suggested this movie. I was always going to watch it because Paul Rudd is there, um, and but first few minutes, and this was the first few minutes into the movie. It's like fuck, let's fucking go.
That's how
Like, all right, they're
that's how you
going here.
started, right? Yeah.
Strong.
So after
Put a
that,
dead person on the screen. Awesome.
Exactly.
Talk about Ghostbusters.
we moved to Chicago, where his daughter Callie inherits the farm. Uh, so Callie is a single mom with kids Trevor and Phoebe, and they're evicted, so they have no choice but to take
Mhm.
the farm back. Go to the farm and try to make something out of it. The kids think at first that they were just there to check
Temporary.
check whatever they can get or sell, and then get out.
Mhm.
And then while there, immediately Trevor, played by Finn
Wolfhard.
Wolfhard from Stranger Things fame, immediately has a crush on Lucky, who works at
A
a restaurant.
roller skating
Yeah,
Roller,
server.
yeah.
they call it a
Restaurant.
car hop. It's where you can like a drive
Mhm.
by park and
It's
then
a
eat.
Sonic. Yeah, right?
Something like that. Yeah. And then while there, Phoebe, who I love Phoebe though. The casting for Phoebe,
Oh my god. Oh,
she's amazing. And I already saw her once in there's another Disney Plus show. It's like Isabella loves it. Just Beyond. It's like a
hmm.
sci-fi horror-ish anthology series
Oh,
on
okay.
Disney Plus. So she was there, and she's naturally blonde. So it threw me
Hmm.
off. I didn't think it was her, but it turned out it was her. So she goes to a summer science class under Gary Gruberson,
Paul Rudd.
well named Gary Gruberson, named acted by Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
So and then
Meeting yet another favorite character. Like every character in this show is a
yes,
banger.
a podcast played by Logan
He,
Kim.
they did not give him a real name. His
No,
I was because like
They
I was
just called
watching it
themselves podcast.
even on the credits. His name is
this
Podcast.
podcast.
Hmm.
What
So
the but I love that usually the pitfall of movies that are directed to kids or movies with a lot of kids as main characters, they fall into like the usual tropes. Brother and sisters either are best friends or don't get along. There's always going to be a bully, there's going to be an outcast. You don't see any of this here. Like every single kid is not in a mold. Like going back a few beats when you mentioned that um Phil Wolfhard,
Finn,
Finn Wolfhard,
Yeah.
kind of fell in love with with that
Lucky,
roller skating derby like a roller skating
Lucky.
server person, and he applied for a job. Like usually it's like cool kids, new kid in town. I'm gonna no. They were just like they're making fun,
They're making it
right?
fun,
Which
but
is
nothing,
more realistic because like you're
not
not gonna
mean. Yeah,
be yeah, you're not gonna be super negative or you're not gonna like bully a
Yeah.
person that you barely even know. You're
yeah.
just like right, like
You'll comment on
so
something
it's
funny if it's funny, but
yeah,
that's it. You're not gonna,
you
go
rib, you
obsessed.
rib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
that's
and and both Finn and Phoebe, or like what's Finn's character's name?
uh Trevor.
So Trevor and Phoebe, brother and sisters.
Trevor. Yeah.
Yeah, they love each other, but not like super duper love each other. But they're not against each other.
Yeah, it's a
It's
typical
like
teenager. Like I have my life, you'll have your life. We'll talk when we're together, but
yeah, yeah.
not too
They're you see the love, you see the support, but they're not like attached to the hip.
Yeah,
So I like how they built every single character because I always thought like podcast would be some outcast leading a group of outcasts. No, it's just like another kid in summer class with Phoebe. Cool.
yeah. I like that they went for like more of a like you said, the if they went for a children's movie, they didn't treat the audience like dumb or too young.
Dumb.
It's like
Mhm.
it's a kids movie because there are kids in it, but it's still a heartfelt. You still need to think a little bit, but it's still funny.
It's a family movie with a little bit of action.
Yes.
And it's great.
So anyway, so she's very smart, but she's kind of dumbed up, pissed off that she needs to go to the summer class because she doesn't have any friends, and like Finn even tries to help her a little bit. They have a joke like something like in the car. It's helps trying to help her get a friend, but her jokes are like too smart and not funny enough. So there at school, she meets a podcast played by Logan Kim, who has one subscriber, but he's like well kitted out. Like he has
Yeah.
portable cameras and mics, and he's so funny. And there was no bully in the class. It's just everybody doing their. I
Just a
mean,
class.
they were doing summer class, and not even a typical summer class because Gary just shows them a movie, and then he can do his own shit.
So that's kind of like, that is, I know it's for a joke, but it's a what do you call it? It is an allusion to the educational system of the United States, where this is a teacher teaching a class, and all he does is like place
Make them watch
VHS
videos.
tapes.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it's summer class, so it's like there's no quizzes or
But what
anything.
was the first statement when Phoebe was being dropped off, and Callie and then Gary was able to meet
He
at
spoke
the
to
it's
yeah.
like
At the
oh,
door.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm the teacher. Yeah, the kids here, they're not, a lot of them are really, really dumb. It's like, yeah, that's my kid right there. It's like, oh, but not her. It's the best. I love it.
So yeah, so it's and then at night,
And he was honest as well with the class. He says, like, I know you guys don't want to be here, neither do I. So I have this classic. If you think about about Beethoven, but this one, Mauls people. Wow.
they were in rapture. Yeah. So back home, there's Phoebe's interacting with a ghost, which I think at this point everybody assumes
Everybody
it's
assumes
Egon. Right?
Assumed, yeah.
So
Via chess.
it started with chess, and then with I forgot the name.
The meter.
The meter,
Ectometer?
yeah, the one that senses entities,
Ectometer,
yeah. So Egon leads. So Phoebe doesn't know who it is yet, but he leads her to the trap on the floor, and she solves it, and she finds the ghost trap, but she doesn't have any idea what it is. So she brings it to school, shows it to Professor
Gary.
Gary and podcast, and he knows it. Of course, he's like, you don't know Ghostbusters. So I love how it's a meta look at it where
Mhm.
it's the same for us that it's a fun movie in the 80s. Was it 80s? 80s, right?
In the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun movie in the 80s.
In the 80s, Manhattan was like overrun by ghosts.
Like it was like the walking. It was like The Walking Dead. So that was.
It's like,
And then they're on YouTube. So it's just like us, thinking about Ghostbusters 1 and 2 and our love for it. So they do an experiment. They try to open the trap with disastrous consequences because they release the ghost accidentally. And then so they don't do anything. They couldn't do anything. But then back home, Phoebe Egon's ghost brings Phoebe down to the secret lab, and then that's where she realizes it's Egon. Egon helps her to fix the
that's so
proton pack.
that's
Sorry. I love this part. When she goes down, normally kids her age, 12 in this movie. In real life, she's 16 years old. 12 in this movie, nerdy. Although she said she doesn't believe in ghosts. But still, I mean, you go down, suddenly all these things are turned on. The light headlamp is kind of pointing itself.
Yeah.
It's communicating. And you're just like, okay, so where's your pliers? I mean, but but then I guess she kind of realizes there's another entity. I like that part where it was just normal to her, and she's like saying something like, "Wow, how did you build something and turn
This
it
small.
into something this small?" And then the light points to the diploma.
Right.
Okay,
Right,
I
you're
get it.
smart.
You're smart.
No, and I like it because she's a scientist, but she's young. So she's not like
Yeah.
an old scientist where
Mhm.
even with shown the facts, they're gonna be in denial because it's not what they thought, what they studied or learned
Mhm.
in life. She's
Yeah.
young, so she's like, I don't believe in ghosts, but clearly there's something here. So I'm not gonna be in denial and like, what the fuck is this?
But also it's great that we're it's 2021. You can't just assume that even a kid genius will be able to build and fix all of these stuff just because she saw them, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when they were testing the new proton pack, the proton packs ago, it's like, how do you how did you fix
Know
it? I
which
fixed them.
one? Yeah.
It's like, I fixed them. It's like, "Well, you fixed them? Well, I had a little help."
Yeah.
Right. So having the actual person that built it walk you through how to fix it gives kind of like more a grounded level on how a 12-year-old kid can
Could do
fix
it.
proton packs, know how to use it, etc., etc. So that's kind of
True.
the thing that I love. So when we saw the trailer and we saw the gunner seat driving around and like the kid shooting the thing, I figured it's like, nowadays you can't just like find a proton pack and expect how to use it, how
What I
dangerous
thought
that thing
was, what I
is.
expected was, I thought Gary was gonna be one of the Ghostbusters, and
I
since he's
thought
a
so too.
scientist, he was the one that was gonna be able to build those
Mm.
things.
And he knew about them.
He knew
Yeah,
about
so
them,
He
yeah.
knew about the trap. He
but this
knew
was so
about
good, and also the
yeah.
choice to not uh let Egon speak or even appear
Hmm.
as a ghost through the start. It's
Mhm.
such if you initially think of it, it might be lazy, but it's such a cool way because it forced them to be creative with the
Yep.
lamp and it gives us more heart because it's like the grandfather with his granddaughter, but through the light and everything. So it's just, it has also bittersweet to it, right? Because he can't talk to her normally, so it's like
Mhm.
sad
Mhm.
also. So it's so good. So they as you said, they fixed the proton pack. They tested out with podcast, and then wait, they find a ghost. They call it the muncher, I think.
The
Yeah, the
muncher.
muncher
Uh,
That's
eating
right. The one
eating
that
yeah,
eats
like
metal.
iron or eats metal
yeah. So
and
it's
shoots them like a
this one
machine
is
gun.
kind of their Slimer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
So wait,
Yeah, but
so
Slimer
yeah,
eats food.
yeah. So this one at the same time, Trevor found the Ecto one and he's been trying to fix it up. So while they're testing this one, Trevor was testing the Ecto one and able to get it started. And then as they tried to capture Muncher, which was really deadly because he spits out those
Again,
metal thing, like really
it's
scary
like a
for
machine gun.
two kids. Yeah. So he escapes, and then at the same time as they were following him, uh, they find Trevor with the Ecto one. So they like get in. I forgot the line, but they get in, and then they try to go after the ghost. And Trevor's like, "What are we doing?" But then, you know, he sees the ghost, and they wreak havoc in town, like in the
Mm-hmm.
downtown, and like destroying everything. But it's so cool. The gunner seat was so good.
Oh,
Uh,
the so that's the other thing too. It's like the action looked good, looked cool,
shot well, yes.
and then even the way that they started discovering bits and pieces of the Ecto one inside the gunner seat, all the trap door where you can, so all the small bits and pieces. They weren't just like, oh, like I read, it's like they did it practically. Like, so I really enjoyed
Yeah,
how
they did old
this
school,
scene direct. Oh, the best.
and then they using the what did they call it? The mini the
Remote control.
RC the
Yeah,
RC Ecto. I forgot. Do you
Yeah,
have a
the
name for
remote
it?
the
control
trap.
trap.
Yeah. So using that, they catch Muncher, but of course the police come and bring them to prison because of all
Detain
the
them.
damage
They
that they did,
damaged what, half the town?
and nobody believes them. They confiscate the car, they confiscate the equipment, and I thought that was funny though. The Lucky being the daughter of the
Oh,
chief of
that was
police.
I
I
was
thought
like, oh,
she's in
like
prison.
Lucky was also arrested. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh. No, like daughter of
She's like,
the
"Ah,
captain.
so
But it
she did
also
that joke
shows
right where she was
how
like, "Hide this for me," or something.
Hide this from me. Hide this from me.
I also like how it shows how the people really look down on Egon.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, Dirt
Because
Farmer?
even the people in the precinct, that lady cop's like, oh, really, the family of the Dirt Farmer.
Dirt Farmer? Everybody calls Dirt Farmer. Because
Yeah.
like, yeah, he farms dirt. Do you know his name? No.
The only
Well,
one that
everybody
They
knows.
didn't actually.
Wait.
I think the only
They
one that
didn't
liked him was
actually
the grocers.
reveal Egon Spengler. They didn't
Mhm.
reveal it until she opened the cabinet.
That's true. But
When
the funny thing about it was everybody knew about the Dirt Farmer, but nobody knew who the Dirt Farmer was.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like, you know my dad? No, we just know the Dirt Farmer. Like, fuck, every single one.
Yeah.
Diner, police station. But
Yeah.
yeah, CHUBAX is right. The only person that really
The
liked him
hardware,
because, like,
the
because he
hardware.
bought so many stuff,
place.
random stuff.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Okay, so back to the jail. Phoebe uses her one phone call to contact Ray, one of the original Ghostbusters. Tell him that Egon.
Who you gonna call?
And Egon then wait, from here it says Egon leads Callie to the wall of pictures of her
That's
as a
true.
kid. So
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
another
Yes.
sweet moment, and she's starting to believe Phoebe. And then after that, once released, Phoebe podcasts Lucky and Trevor. They find the Gozarian temple with the mine. Exploring further, they discover Shandor is alive in the casket. And I love the shot
Which
of the
was
Yeah.
which was
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons. Oh, and do you know who Muncher was? The voice for
Who?
Muncher? Josh Gad.
Was there a voice?
Just the sounds.
It was just more.
Do you need a celebrity for that? But who was
Apparently, they did.
who was Gozer?
Olivia
Who
Wilde.
played Gozer?
The
Olivia
girl?
Wilde.
Fuck.
That was Olivia Wilde. I had to check.
Because I feel like I'm looking at Gozer's like, yes, please.
Uncredited.
Take me.
Uncredited.
Oh my god. I thought it was actually Callie. But it's like, no, it's too young.
Okay, so they find the mine, then they discover Shandor, and then they find the automated proton cannons. The automatic, that was so cool. Where,
That was so smart too. So
right?
smart.
But also sad that
Mm.
he was doing this, saving the world, and nobody even knew it. He
100%.
installed packs because there's like a well, and then the ghosts are climbing up and trying to get out. Every time they reach a certain height, like 4 proton packs automatically fire and bring it down. And then hold on.
I think this is where they kind of explain that they're in order to release Gozer, the two
Okay, yeah. Here.
gargoyles.
They need Sentinels Zul and Vince Clortho. So those are the gatekeeper and the
The
keymaster. Keymaster, I think, right?
Keymaster.
So they
Yes,
possess
Which are the
Keymaster.
same from Ghostbusters 1 and 2, right?
yeah, who possessed Sigourney Weaver and the other guy, the neighbor.
The Revenge of the Nerds guy.
Yeah. So they possess Cal and Gary and make them act weird and do stuff.
Do stuff.
And then they destroy Egon's equipment, allowing Gozer to escape. Shandor, played by J.K. Simmons, wakes up and then is killed immediately. So his role was just to lie down and then stand up. And then, so the children discover that Egon's setup is a trap, the farm basically. He buried traps there. And then, so everything goes crazy. Ghosts are all out in the town, so everybody's being messed with by the ghost. So in the chaos, the children make a plan. They seize the equipment from the police station. They travel to the mine. Phoebe distracts Gozer so Podcast can capture Zul, and they free Callie, the mom, and weaken Gozer's physical form. So this is all from Wikina, so that I'm accurate. They lure Gozer to the trap field, but then, which is so realistic, they don't know that it didn't work the first time because something fucked up on,
So he gets, of course.
on the
That
on
was
the power charger. Because Egon didn't tell them, so I guess Egon forgot about it too. But then,
Well, how are you gonna
Well,
say like, yo,
yeah, and
I
then he
died
wasn't.
because it didn't. I know it
He wasn't like
didn't
part of
pop.
the
Yeah.
plan. He wasn't part of the plan making, anyways.
Mhm.
So they lure Gozer to the trap field, but then, as they said, it malfunctions. Gozer frees Zul, who possesses Lucky this time. And so technically, the four Ghostbusters here is Phoebe, Trevor, Lucky, and Podcast. So it's like such a
Yep.
cool. I think Lucky was still a little underwritten. Not enough.
Yeah.
They could
Yes.
have given
Yes. He
her,
was
more scenes
a
with the
little bit
dad or
more.
something.
But I like
Agree.
the idea that because they're kids, they don't know what they're doing. So you know, Phoebe and Lucky are technically the strikers,
Uh-huh.
and then you have uh, uh Trevor as the wheelman, and then Podcast for the traps. So it's like, all right, it's not analogous to Ray,
Yeah,
Winston,
yeah.
Egon, and Peter, right? Peter Venkman.
Oh,
So
and
I like that they were trying to change it a little bit.
before we also skip some stuff like when the chaos started and the ghosts were released. We got those Paul Rudd in Walmart. Was it a Walmart? It was a Walmart, right?
Oh, Walmart. It was Walmart being
And we get
being
the
Walmart.
mini
being
marshmallows,
chased. Yeah,
mini marshmallow man, or just
yeah.
they're not even evil. They're just having fun.
Weird.
I think
Mischievous.
they're just having
Mischievous.
fun. They're
Yeah.
just playing with stuff.
It reminded me of. Have you guys seen Sausage Party?
No, not yet.
Yes. Yes.
I
The
haven't.
fucking most
Don't
fucked
let
up
the kids
anime.
watch it, Chewy.
I
It's
won't.
the most
I
fucked
know.
up animated show I've ever seen. I love it so bad. But it kind of reminded me of that. They were
What's that?
like piercing each
Yeah.
other, melting each
Blend
other,
blender
Blending.
each
blending each other.
other.
Blending.
So anyway,
Making s'mores out of each
Ma-
other.
It's like, oh, like you're like being melted on with chocolate blanket is nice.
oh, the lighter. So anyway, they so Lucky's possessed again. Then Gozer goes back to full power, and then this is the scene. I did not expect it. I thought Ray would come back. I did not expect all three. All three of them would be back.
That was
Was it
spoiled to
spoiled to you?
me. Yeah, well, this was like months ago, when like maybe a couple of weeks after it released. They at least Winston and Dan Aykroyd um had an interview with Jimmy Fallon about it, so I kind of knew that they were gonna come out.
Because for me and the kids and my wife, it was like a shout moment, because hype moment. We didn't. I didn't expect it, so I was like, "Fuck!" That shot was so
Mhm.
awesome. So Ray, Peter, Winston arrived to help, and Gozer, having already killed Egon, seeks to complete her revenge against the Ghostbusters. And then so Phoebe starts to fight with Gozer with the proton pack, and then we get this fucking Dragon
Oh,
Ball fucking moment with Egon's ghost appearing and then holding the proton pack like with Phoebe. Ugh,
so
it's so
that
good.
hits in so many levels because one, not only is the movie being directed by Egan's real son, but he's being played by his son as well. Like it hits on all levels. Like not only do they honor um
Tribute.
what's his name, Reitman, what's real Egon's name, but like
Uh,
so yeah,
Harold
but the
Ramis.
Ha-
Yeah, yeah.
Harold.
Reitman, right?
Harold Ramis. No, it's
Yeah.
not his son. I think
So
it's the producer's son who did it,
mhm. Yeah.
who
So the
directed the
idea is
movie.
like, yeah, every you get to honor the actor with people that are
Close to
directly close
close to
to
them.
them and close to the franchise. So this was done with extreme care and extreme love. And it wasn't done in a tacky way. Wasn't CGI, wasn't de-age. Fuck no, it's just literally a person with some makeup and a wig. Let's go.
Yeah,
That's right.
the guy who played Egon was where did I see him? Hold on, let me check that.
I'm gonna
Important.
check it too. Egon.
It's the old guy that we know.
Harold Ramis. Wait, what?
Oh, Harold
Yeah.
Ramis is the original.
Okay, got it.
I saw because
So it's a
I saw the specials. There, Bob Gunton.
oh, okay, got it.
Uh, he's where did we see him anyway?
Man, I didn't even say I was so surprised that that's Olivia Munn.
Patch Adams. He's the
Well,
Dean Walcott in Patch Adams. That's where I know him.
All right.
So
Oh yeah, he
right,
is cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
So they use him as, and then they
cool.
put prosthetics to make him look like Egon.
Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while Egon and Phoebe fight Gozer, um, the original ones help Phoebe restrain by crossing their proton streams, while Trevor uses his to charge the trap's power source, which was the one that failed. And then Callie activates. So it's everybody. It's like everybody had something to do. That was so
Everybody
cool.
had a role, so it kind of like was meant to be kind of thing. It's like I love
Yeah.
this is the best.
Callie activates the ghost traps, capturing Gozer and the minions. Egon reconciles with his family and friends, and then he departs.
He goes to the afterlife.
And then in the post-credit
Correct.
scenes, Peter's revealed to be married to Dana Barrett, and then Winston has become a wealthy businessman who's been funding
Yeah.
the occult boxer of Ray, and then he buys, or he bought or he already owned the firehouse.
Well, he bought because like remember,
Firehouse.
yeah, they were mentioning like the
It
mom
was
was
turned
mentioning
into
that Starbucks, right?
Yeah.
And then
So
he gets
now
that
he
gets the
he gets
Ecto
it
one
back.
back. Yeah. So that's where it ends. I really hope there's a sequel because
Oh my god,
so
they
good.
should. They, I would be so happy if just the same crew. Like it's, I would love for this to be more geared towards kids, but treated this way, right? It can be Finn Wolfhard and Phoebe's and what's the other name? Lucky's new Ghostbuster crew, funded by Winston.
Yeah, as long as they still have their jobs, that would be cool too. So it's I don't know. I love the show. So other things you didn't like, Jay?
The movie was actually well paced. The 2 hours was well spent.
Mhm.
More and more of our movies lately has been hitting the 2 hour mark, right? But I really enjoyed this. It's good for the kids, and there's
Did you watch it with the
humor.
wife?
I partially did. She had a lot of stuff she was taking care of. But when I went downstairs, I was watching on my iPad. When I went downstairs, she eventually started watching it as well. Because we have a 8-year-old niece. So I don't know if they finished it, but it's good that they started watching it. It was, for me, call me sappy, but maybe because I miss my daughter. The last scene when Egon was hugging his daughter, that kind of started to put tears in my eyes. I was like, oh damn. That's like something that that's his unfinished business. Aside from the ghost, it's also closure with his daughter, because he left everything. His partners, his friends, he left the city, he went in the middle of nowhere, left his family, and no questions asked. But the only thing was, he actually did everything for the entire world. Even if it meant people hating him, even if it meant everyone in town calling him the crazy dirt farmer. And he didn't care. He still did it for everyone, including those people who had no clue what he was doing, and those people who hated him. And that was a touching moment. And I was like, oh damn. That's why he was, after that hug, that, I don't know, 1 minute hug or more on scene, he just went up. It's done. My job's done. I have closure. I'm ready. I'm going to the afterlife. Because, if you're thinking about Ghostbusters, why do ghosts linger? It's a lot of unfinished business. They don't want to go to the afterlife. They just want to
I wonder who
stay
Muncher
here
was when he
until
was alive.
eating
Oh, fudge.
metal.
Metal.
Those ghosts are probably like thousands of years old,
Mhm.
hundreds.
Yeah, they've been
morphed
already
into-
out of their human, out of their human habits. But what people believed before is that ghosts are souls that never put to rest, and they become just corrupted by whatever's by not being able to pass on and staying on for millennia. But at least Egon found his peace. There was a scene at the end where at the end where the there seems to be Ghostbusters going through, which I would assume to be the city again. I don't know which city is that. Is that New York?
Yeah, it's New York.
Yeah, the one with the bridge, right? So I guess they're back in business, but the big question is, who are the Ghostbusters?
Yeah, because how
I
would
don't-
kids be legally?
That's true.
how exactly? That's one. Number two,
Summer internship.
yeah. And number two, the Ghostbusters are kind of old already. I don't think they're.
I actually wouldn't mind also if they like waited 10
Oh
years.
yeah, I wouldn't mind, but
And
I'm
then
just saying,
they're like teenagers or 21,
Mhm.
18, 21.
there's this cartoon show, the new Ghostbusters. Not new, but there was like a
Was it the one
Slimer
with-
was still there.
With the wheelchair. The guy
Yeah,
with
I
the
think
wheelchair.
is that the one? I think so. But you never know. I don't know if there will be if there would be another sequel to this, but it was very enjoyable. I liked it. This one, yeah, the guy with the wheelchair. You're right.
And you, Jong?
I
Thoughts?
was extremely pleasantly surprised about this film because I knew it was going to be good because it had good reviews, and like I mentioned, it was a little bit spoiled for me because we had a couple of the original Ghostbusters having some cameos in them. I didn't even realize, and I was surprised how long they were on screen too, and how many lines they did, and even in the post-credit scene. So we had everyone was there. The assistant was there, Janine, all four,
Janine.
well, all three remaining Ghostbusters were there too. So I was super surprised just with that fact. So knowing that they were going to be there, it meant that all right, the script was solid, right? To bring particularly Bill Murray, who never does shit like this anymore. I was like, all right, it's good. But watching it everything was maybe not perfect, maybe not great, but as close to great as you can. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of kids movies. This was definitely a kid movie, but treated with the most respect so that people watching it are not dumb, right? They didn't use the regular low-hanging fruit stereotypes of secluded guy or nerdy girl or new kid in town. No, everything was just super real, super fun, well written. Every character had their place, like they have their moment. Podcast had this moment, Phoebe had this moment, Trevor had his moment, mom had this moment, like great lines with the mom, great lines about why she was upset, rightfully so. Everything was also resolved at the end, even like Mr. Gruberson had his reason why he was there, right? Everyone had a place, and everybody shown. I loved, and everybody was woven together in that last scene as well. Everybody had a little part. So I was so surprised that I was engaged from like again, very beginning, bold move to like having fuck a dead person's character be there, right? Like from that point
The get
all the way up to the end, I was invested. I was invested with Phoebe and the ghost. I was invested with podcast and Phoebe, and they weren't weird about it. They were just friends too. I was invested with Trevor and Lucky. I was, Callie was a MILF, so I was like, I fucking invested with her and Paul Rudd. So everything in this movie screams that this was a feat. I was like, this is how you do a reboot / sequel. And I really cannot wait for Yeah, I'm curious where they're gonna take it because I think they got the perfect formula here. But I don't know how Mr.
How you're gonna
Gruberson.
repeat?
Yeah, and then but again, how are you going to bring the entire crew together? You need to add more people and replace a few people, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think Mr. Gruberson will move to New York, right? I don't know if Callie
The kids will
and the
move to New York.
kids. Well, I were they based in New York? I forget.
Chicago. They were in Chicago, I think.
So
Chicago.
how right? How are they going to move from Chicago to New York, or is there going to be like franchises? Like, there's so many ways. I hope the same writers and producers can make this the cinematic universe that we deserve. There's this big looming thing about the other Ghostbusters with the ladies, right?
Mhm.
Because that should have been a hit because all of my favorite female comedians were there, but it was just
Mhm.
not it's just not
Mhm.
good. So maybe they can combine the worlds at some point somewhere, fix everything like MCU it, fix the timelines, um, and make it cool again. But I love this show. I this is the type of family movies that I would show my future kids. And I know I will enjoy it, and then I know that they will enjoy it as well. So yeah, great movie.
Yeah, for me,
Fantastic.
I
Yeah.
loved it. I watched it with the wife and the kids, so extras makes it more, a little more touching. They did the tightrope so good of nostalgia and yet heart,
Mm,
and
mhm.
bringing it at the same. Because sometimes it can be too nostalgic that you don't care about the current one because you're always thinking about the past. But when they connected
Mhm.
it, and then all the fan service was still well done, everything had a purpose. It wasn't just fan service sake, and there was a lot. So it was just so smart. Whoever went with the idea of Egon's family sticking with them,
Mhm.
and then with the everything with the heartbreak of leaving his daughter. So everything, even I watched because I bought it on iTunes, so I was able to get the special features. I saw how they did the effects. They went as practical as much as they could, like uh like the marshmallow when it first popped up from the plastic bag. They had something
Yeah.
from underneath, and they were just like poking it up like that so that the plastic bag was moving. They created the masks for the creature physically too. So everything was as good as I thought. As Jong said, everything came together. The characters, the purpose, everything just lined up together and in such a natural way that it felt so
Mhm.
good, so rewarding.
Well done. This is what
Satisfying.
good writing and smart directing results to. Like it makes sense.
Yes.
It's simple and it's
Agreed.
it's heartfelt. So it's I've even if this was a one-off, I'm happy that they were able to kind of reclaim how awesome
Agreed.
the Ghostbuster franchise is because it hasn't had a good
Come back.
in a while. So I'm glad with this.
Me too. I'm
Shall
also
we
like I also love that I would be happy if this is a one-off. The
Mhm.
only thing is there's so much more potential there that's the
Yes,
only thing
yeah,
that's making me waste it if it's not. But okay, for
yeah.
for rankings, let's start with RJ.
I'm giving this actually a 9 because it's makes a lot of sense. This movie is the length of time was perfect. The casting was fantastic. The storyline made sense. It touched base on the 1984 movie, and of course its sequels, and um, it was just touching. It's not. It had a good mix of action with comedy and really family, which quite a lot of people need to appreciate.
Mm,
Jong
So that's a 9 for me.
yeah.
Plus,
Shame. Oh,
plus
good, Jay.
Grace McKenna.
is
She's gonna be really hot when she gets older.
oh my
uh,
god.
I'm a 9 too, solid 9. This is again everything you'd want in a movie. It's fun,
Yep.
it's cute, there's action, there's story. For the people that were born in the 80s, you have nostalgia. If you are a 2000s kid, you have Stranger Things, right? So everything works here. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Uh, it's it's um it's one of those that, all right, if somebody has not seen it, I'm more than happy to watch it with them. To just,
Yeah.
if you're a former fan of Ghostbusters, or if somebody's like, all right, Ghostbusters, what the fuck is that? It's like, let's start here, then maybe we can track back. So it's a good opportunity for a new heartfelt franchise that has, it's not, because again, MCU, Star Wars, it's dominating everything. To find something new and smaller
Mhm.
might be fun. So I'm excited about that. Again, and also, again, that mom, Callie is a MILF. If I was
Oh,
Mr.
So you've
Gruberson,
got
I would.
someone crushing on an older girl. You've got another one who's gonna go
Hells
to
yeah!
jail.
If that's what an older girl looks like, let's fucking go. So I'm in it. Shabak, how about you?
uh, I'll go with the 9, but since watching with the kids make it extra sentimental, so I'll bump it to a 9.5.
Oh,
A
go
little
for
more
it.
special because some of the reactions resonate more when you're acting with your kids. So
Hundred
I'll go
percent,
with the
100%.
9.5. So yeah, Jong, take us home.
That's it. Oh, again, that's it for this particular episode. Thank you very much for listening or watching our show all the way up to the end. Again, we'd like to remind you that we are on YouTube. We have 3 shows. This review show, where we discuss streaming TV shows, video games, books, anything cool content wise that we suggest you enjoy as well with your friends and family. On Wednesdays, we drop our first ever D&D campaign. So we record us playing D&D for the very, very first time. Those episodes comes out every Wednesday. On Thursdays, we have a bevy of trailers and featurettes that we react to, so that you can have something that you can be hyped about, waiting for, like we do. YouTube, just search +63 HP on that search bar, or if you want to launch us from your browser, type in bit.ly/+63HP. We are also on every podcasting app. Just search +63HP. We'd love it if you subscribe, leave a review, comment, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, so we can you can be updated when we are updating our content. And you can interact with us on Twitter and on Instagram. Our handle is @+63HP. Reminder, next week, continuing with Boba Fett, episode 5, continuing with Peacemaker, episode 5, and very excited about the first 3 episodes
Yeah.
of The Legend of Vox Machina
Yeah.
animated series coming out on Prime Video.
Amazon Prime.
Last goodbyes, RJ.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our discussions today from the Book of Boba Fett, Peacemaker, and of course Ghostbusters Afterlife. We'd love to hear from you. Please comment on our posts, our videos, and we'd love to hear what you think. Agree or disagree with us. We welcome all that, and please note that we will respond, and we do. So thank you. Please like and subscribe.
CHUBAX.
Yeah, I'm loving the content we have. So happy. I hope you guys are too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and come join us. Just message us. We can even bring you in, a guest. So
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
invite you.
that's
You guys
about
want to
it.
be on? Go for it.
And yep, again, thank you very much for joining us. Cannot stress this enough. We welcome all of our friends, families, whoever is interested to join our discussions, react with us, maybe even play D&D. If you're interested, let us know. We always are open for new friends and family.
Looking,
But
yes.
with that,
Oh yeah.
thank you very much, and we will see you next week.